started schooling at home. My dad was a plant manager in Tiga. So I think the schools, I can't even remember if there was a school. I'm sure there is, but he started us at home. So my brother and I were learning from atlas, from encyclopedia, things like that. Then we moved to Kano sometime in the late 80s, I think. Then I started primary school there. I can remember clearly my primary 3 through 5 and 6. I started 6, then I went to secondary school. I went to an Arabic secondary school in Kano State as well. Then after my JSS, I moved to a science secondary school in Jigawa State, where I did my SSC. After I graduated, of course, the thing is to read medicine. So I applied medicine JAM, first and second choice medicine. And then I think there were some strikes, things like that, and I was at home waiting till 1996, and then I went in and I didn't have maths and physics. I had passing maths and passing physics. So they now said, okay, since I had, I think about 7 credits, they cannot turn me back. So they now changed my course and they gave me law. After law school, I started working with the High Court. I lectured first. I had lecturing job in Katsina for about 2 semesters. Then after that, we moved to Abuja. In Abuja, I got a job with the FCT High Court. I was an assistant registrar. I was attached to a judge. I worked for about 2-3 years, and then we moved to Lagos. And in Lagos, because I couldn't be coming to Abuja, to do my job, I had no option but to resign. So I resigned. I was bored. So I've always had this passion for changing my house, anything household, I do it really, really well. So I started making bed sheets and duvets. But because I didn't know a lot of people in Lagos, I was sending them to Abuja. But then you know how it is, business on credit. People were holding my money. And my sister just mentioned that, why not open a shop? So I said, okay, let me see, where can I open a shop? I now thought of Kano. Since I'm from Kano, I'm from Jigawa, but my parents are in Kano. So I said, okay, let me go to Kano. At least there will be people to look after the shop for me, even if I'm not there. And it was successful at the time, before the bombings and everything started, So after that, I was like, okay, this is something I can do professionally. Since I didn't have a job, I wasn't making a living, and you know how difficult it can be. So I searched online and I found an interior design school in Lagos. I went to school, and from there, just started the business. So when I started my business, it was like a roller coaster of finding out things. I was finding out things like that. So it's been difficult. Being that it's an industry that has not fully developed, I still maintain that interior design is not fully developed in Nigeria. So you see a lot of things, there are no standardization. So you see as if you're going, on your own, trying to create regulations for yourself. Okay, what do I charge? How do I charge this? Things like that. So it's been interesting. It's been difficult, but I've learned a lot along the way. There are some certain cultural barriers that you cannot cross. That's, I think, the limitation with that is you cannot do aggressive marketing as men. You can't start bumping into offices. You have to limit your contact with men, especially as a married Muslim woman from the north. So because I realized that is a limitation for me, I try to have people I can work with. Okay, if I can't go there, please help me go there, or let's work together. You get the job and then we execute it together. But aside from that, I think it's fairly normal. I keep telling people that, it's, as a woman, it is not that very difficult, because I have a lot of male colleagues, architects, interior designers that I work with, and we have like 90% similar problems. So it's not that difficult for you. Some of the barriers we actually create for ourselves. Like, I can't say I will not market a man because I'm married. I have people, I have men that I can say, okay, you know what, let me call this person, and then you take it off from there. You go to the office, you go to the house, you understand? And then if you have a meeting, because I'm a woman, there are some clients that you have to go and meet. So I get one or two staff and say, you know what, let's go and have this meeting. And we go and have the meeting, and it turns out successful. They continue from where I stopped, and everybody is happy. I said it in an interview, he gives 100% support. Like, he supports me. He's an accountant, and he has a financial consultancy company, so he does a lot of things for me. Most of the things I find from him that you need to do your books, you need to have an accounting system, you need to do your taxes, you need to do. So he tells me a lot of things that if I had gone to school, you know, I would have learned, or if I had gone to a proper interior design school, I would have gotten those from that training. So I get a lot from him. He supports with the children. If I have to work, he stays with them. And he doesn't, he doesn't like limit what I can do. Whatever, this is an idea, he will say, go for it. I know you can do it. So he supports me. I don't usually use the word proud, but if I would do it all over again, I would love to come as a Northerner. I love the North. I love everything about us. I love our culture, the way we are brought up, you know, the way we interact with people, our humility, you know, our way of life. I'm a proud Northerner. Let me just say that, yeah. I learned, should I say, the hard way by myself. The year before, I started thinking, you know, we need to train interior designers. And you know, when you are in the business, you get to meet a lot of people. So you see a lot of lapses. You know, you compare with the people abroad and you see what they're doing. You know, we can do that and we can do even better. So we realized that the problem is education. We are not properly educated, we are not properly trained. So we said, okay, you know what, let's put heads together, come up with a curriculum that will train people as interior designers. And because of my own experience starting a business without, you know, the required knowledge of business, we now incorporated entrepreneurship in it. So we sat down last year, sometime middle of last year, we sat down. I called an architect friend, said, you know what, please come, let's do this. So we had a couple of people, we sat down, we started developing the curriculum for the interior design certificate course, which is a 3-month course. At least by the time you have that, you know, you have the, professional know-how on how to do things, how to go about things, how to create good designs, professional designs, create functional spaces. So we did that. We incorporated entrepreneurship, a lot of things that we feel people need. And after that, you know, we started thinking, okay, what do they do after the certificate? You know, where do they go from? Nigeria is a country where you have to serve for you to be employed. And then for you to serve, you must have gone through a university or a polytechnic. Yeah. Then people were saying, okay, this certificate course you're doing, what is your accreditation? A lot of people were saying, okay, find an interior design school abroad and have like an affiliation with them. And the thing that occurred to me is, if we train or we get an affiliation from a school abroad, our systems are completely different. Our climate, our designs, you know, our architecture, everything is completely different. So we said, you know what, let us do something in Nigeria. And then we found NBT. With NBT, they have, they're in charge of polytechnics, colleges of education, and they have these IEIs, which are Innovative Enterprise Institutes and Vocational Enterprise Institutes, where they target people that cannot get into universities and polytechnics and then secondary school dropouts. So we said, you know what, let's target the IEI, so that we can, people that will finish and will want to read interior design and they will have to go abroad to read it, let's target those people so that we can give them, you know, a professional course within Nigeria, using Nigerian system, our own architecture, our own design, train them to work in Nigeria so that they don't have to come back and start, you know, coping, adjusting with our system. So that was what we did, and we started with NBT. We have gotten our letter of no objection, so we're going ahead with the curriculum development, which is like 98% done, and we want to submit next week. And by the time we have our certification, we're going to start fully. It's going to be a 2-year national diploma course that when you finish, you will get a national diploma certificate. I always have view that the youth are the future of any community, any society. And we cannot underestimate the importance of youth, because imagine, these are the people that are going to lead in the next 10, 15 years or even 5 years. So you need to pay attention to them. You need to nurture them. That's the word. Educate them, both in ethics, especially in ethics. Someone told me that in Germany what they do is they don't teach religion, they teach ethics, and it's a must. Everybody must take ethics. So whatever your religion, you know what is right and what is wrong. I think we need that. We need to teach our youth ethics, right from wrong, what to do, what not to do. Let them have very, very good education, and let's give them opportunity, because I realize that young people, the way they think is not the way we think. I consider myself old. It's not the way we think. Everybody in my office is like 10, in this office is like 10, 15 years younger than I am. And the way they think is completely different from the way I think. They have more like futuristic, whatever they think is something that will be sustainable in the next 10, 15, 20 years. So it's very, very important that we know what they're doing and we give them full support so that our future will be better. I'll call it a single contribution is in trying to see that interior design, is standardized in Nigeria. It is recognized by the government. It is a course in Nigeria, because right now we are not in any schedule of work in Nigeria. None. You go to the FCT, we have an interior design department, but they were employed as engineers. So we need that, because not everybody that is an interior designer is an entrepreneur or they want to go for self-employment. Some people are just more comfortable working for someone, and we should have them in the government. Every maintenance department, housing, all those departments, you need interior designers, because you go to government buildings and they are just a hazard to the people that are working there. You see some sort of tables, you see some layout that is just not functional. So we need those people in every sector of the government as well as private organizations, so that we have better arrangements, better, more healthy working and living environment. My advice to them is to be strong, have focus. I know the situation in the country can be discouraging sometimes, but we don't have any other country. This is us. We have to make the best use of it, make it better for us, for our children, for our grandchildren. So my advice to them is to be strong, to be tenacious, to be, let them seek knowledge and don't be lazy, and be open-minded. Love Nigeria, please. Love Nigeria, because we don't have another one. This is it for us. So we have to love Nigeria for us to nurture it and do good by it.